Welcome to Devlog episode 3 for VeinBound. Today I managed to get through a lot of stuff that I had previously procrastinated doing. Today I focused a lot of my attention on making the game slightly more functional but mainly looking better. So the first thing I did today was create a drone model, so I used a free software called Blender to do this. Once completed the drone model, I then imported it into my Unity project and then just spent a little bit of time tweaking the drone script to just get the alignment of the drone correct. I also added some simple blades to the drone just using Unity itself, using a transparent material. I then used a 3D audio source within the drone. This allowed me to make a hover and pick up sounds for whenever the drone picks up resources. I then made a simple grass texture using Illustrator and then imported it into the project using a terrain. Next I added a simple pickaxe model that I had from a previous project of a Lua Roblox game that I had. Same with a stone model that I added that was also from a previous project. Shortly after doing all of this, I added some simple textures and materials to the new objects. I then realised that the grass texture didn't look quite right, and I just opened Illustrator and added some simple highlights and shadows to the texture. I moved on to creating a simple voice line UI. This could be used by NPCs to interact with the player. I then created an object-oriented voice line script, which allows the information for the voice lines to be passed through by any different type of NPC interactor or other object that I want to pass information through this to. This will mean it's easier in the future to implement this feature. So moving on from that, I created a basic NPC interactor, which just allows the player to interact with the NPC and then goes through a series of voice lines. Next, I added a money variable to the player script, which would allow them to buy things in the future. I also added a max health, hunger and thirst, which would allow this to be upgraded in the future, and also for the scripts to help return it to normal when consumables are used. I then made a simple leveling and XP system, which allows the stats to be increased upon leveling up. Then I finally just added some simple functions which allows me to edit the player's health, money, etc. I then spent a while in Illustrator designing a new UI for the game. Initially I've just done the basic stat UI, but obviously eventually I will do all of them. I'm not super happy with how the UI turned out, so I'll probably change that at a later date, but it looks okay for now. So currently the player spawns with the basic tool, and there's no way of changing this at the moment. So I moved on to adding a simple hotbar UI, which would allow us to change the player's items. So in terms of the player's inventory, they only have 3 slots, which are the 3 on the hotbar. I might change this in the future, but this is the current idea to make the drones a bit more useful, since a lot of the storage can be done at the drone stations and at a main base. To make the hotbar work, I had to turn the items that be used by the player, so consumables and tools and stuff like that, they had to be made into a scriptable object. So I created a simple class scriptable object for these items, which allows me to set settings for these items, and also a prefab to be instantiated into the player when needed to do so. After a long time of trying to figure out why the system wasn't working, I finally managed to make the player be able to press the hotbar buttons on the keyboard, so just numbers 1, 2 and 3 on the keypad, which allows the player to swap between items, and then these objects instantiate themselves into the player's camera, so like how they were before. And then I just added some simple equip and unequip sounds. Thank you for watching today's devlog and supporting the process of creating VeinBound. If you do want to assist in the support and creation of this project, you can join the Discord in the link below. That'll be much appreciated.